Welcome in everybody to another lesson. Today we are going to do some percent problems. Let me move this board a little bit so you can see more of the board. There we go. So we're going to do some percent problems. Basically these are minor word problems. They're not really hard word problems. It's just a matter of taking the expression and translating it into an equation. So let's start with our first example. What is 85% of 276? Alright, so what is 85% of 276? So the what is the unknown quantity. Is means equal to. Of means multiplication. So here's how it's going to work. Reread it again. What is 85% of 276? So the what is the unknown quantity. So let's use a let statement. Let x equal what? Pick any variable. You could pick p, you could pick t, you could pick w. Just I happen to be picking x. So x equals what? So what that x is, which means equal to 85% of 276. That'd be times 276. Alright, I'm writing the multiplication in parentheses because it'll be easier. Biggest thing here to do, now that we have our equation, so x, that what is 85% of 276. Biggest thing you're going to do now, take that percent, translate into a decimal. So we know 85% is a decimal. Move it 2 decimal places to the left is going to be 0.85. So we would have x is equal to 0.85 times 276. Now it's just a matter of put it in your calculator, see what you get. Which that's what I'm about to do right now. Most calculators, unfortunately, even if they have a percent button, it doesn't always work properly. That's why it helps to know it as a decimal form. So you can establish what that is. So I get 234.6. X equals 234.6, and that would be your answer. So 234.6 is 85% of 276. I got more. Okay. What is 74% of 53? So what is 74% of 53? Well, that what? Again, let's pick out a variable. We'll let x equal what? I happen to like x a lot, if you can't tell. But you could assign any other variable, but so what that x is, which means equal to 74% of 53. That means times 53. Of means times. Alright. Now we got to translate that 74% into a decimal. X equals... Okay, 74%, take the decimal place, move it 2 places to the left, you'll get 0.74. That is 0.74 times 53. Now it's just a matter of plug this into your calculator, and you'll have the answer. So 0.74 times 53, I get 39.22. So x equals 39.22. So it turns out 39.22 is 74% of 53. Alright. Now, you also may see it written this way. 150% of 30 is what? 150% of 30 is what? Basically, this problem is backwards wording from what we've had before. So start with 150% of means multiplication of 30, so times 30 is, that means equal to what? We'll let x equal our what? Let me put that up here. Let x equal what? Always want to use a let statement for your variables when you're trying to pick a variable to solve the equation. So now we need to figure out 150%, which is, as a decimal, is going to be 1.5. So you'll have 1.5 times 30 is equal to x. Now it's just a matter of, let's do the multiplication. 1.5 times 30 should be 45, but I'm going to put it in. Yep, it is 45. So 45 is that what? 45 equals x. So 150% of 30 is 45, it turns out. Alright, well, how about this one? 3.8% of 50 is what? 3.8% of 50 is what? Okay, so we'll start out with our equation here. 3.8% of means multiplication times 50 is equal to what? So we'll let x equal what? It's equal to x. Okay, so 3.8% times 50 equals what? Well, again, let's convert that 3.8% to a decimal. If you did that and move it 2 decimal places to the left, you would get 0.038 times 50. That would be your what? Now you just stick it into the calculator. So we have 0.038 times 50. Looks like it's going to be 1.9. So 1.9 equals x. So yes, 3.8% of 50 is 1.9. Now we have a slightly different type of problem to get into here. I got a total of 5 more problems, but these will be a little bit different. What if you have a problem like this? 20 is what percent of 10? This is a different one. We don't know what the percentage is. Before we knew what the percentage is. This time we don't know. 20. Alright, so again, pick out your terms in this word problem and translate it into a math sentence. So 20 is, which means equals to, what percent? Let's let x equal what? Let x equal what? Is what percent of 10? X times 10, which that means 20 can be equal to 10x, since it's x times 10, that's 10x. Okay, so what we got to do for this to get the percent, you're going to, so we have a variable on one side, we have that 10x on one side, we want to get the x by itself, so what you got to do is divide both sides by 10. Let's go ahead and do that, alright? 20 divided by 10, that's 2. 10 divided by 10 is 1, so you'll have 1x. Well, x equals 2, but that doesn't mean it's 2%. You want to find x percent. That's what you want to find. Well, we know that 2.00 equals x. In order to convert that to a percent, you got to move it 2 decimal places to the right. So x percent, you move it 2 decimal places to the right, that's going to be equal to 200%. So 20 is 200% of 10. I got more problems like this. How about what percent of 80 is 100? Alright, what percent of 80 is 100? Okay, so again, let x equal what? We'll have that. Now we have, let's see, so what percent of 80, so x times 80, is 100? Which can be rewritten as 80x equals 100. So, on one side we have 80x, the other side we have 100. We want to get that x by itself. We got to divide both sides by 80. Let's divide both sides by 80. You'll get x is equal to, let's find out what 100 divided by 80 is. I have a pretty good idea what it is, but I'm just going to put it in the calculator to be sure. Yep, it's 1.25. Now that only tells you what the decimal form is. In order to get your percent, you want to find x percent. All you're going to do is take your decimal, move it 2 places to the right, which would give you 125%. So 125% of 80 is 100. I got 3 more problems. Alright. Let me write it a little bit bigger, huh? What percent of 60 is 15? Alright, what percent of 60 is 15? So again, take this statement, let x equal what? X will equal what? So what percent, x percent of 60, so that's times 60, equals 15. Which is can be rewritten as 60x equals 15. Alright, well we have 60x on one side, we want to get that x by itself, so divide both sides by 60. Help if I knew how to write a 6, wouldn't it? Okay. So 60 divided by 60 equals 1. You'll have x is equal to 15 divided by 60, which I know is 1/4, which as a decimal is 0.25. That's just saving me time from having to do the calculator. We found the decimal form. We want to find the percent form. So x percent, all you do is take the decimal, move it 2 places to the right. X percent equals 25%. Alright, so 25% of 60 is 15. Then I got 2 more problems. Alright, 57 is 20% of what? 57 is 20% of what? Well, Again, we want to use our let statement. Let x equal that what? The unknown quantity. We let x equal what? So 57 is means equal to is 20% of what? 20% times x. Alright, so then you'll have 57 is equal to, let's take that 20%, make it a decimal. The percent, of course, 20, move it back 2 decimal places to the left, you'll have 0.2. This could be written as 0.2x since it's times x. Now all we want to do to get the x by itself, you'll divide both sides by 0.2. Write it a little bit bigger. Divide both sides by 0.2. So then you'll get, let's work out what is 57 divided by 0.2. That's 285. So 285 is equal to 0.2 divided by 0.2. So that will leave the x by itself. It's 20% of what? Okay, so we got 285 equaling x. So 57 is 20% of 285, it turns out. And that would be your answer. So basically, if it's most of the time, you'll just have to solve for x itself. If it asks what percent, then you have to convert that answer you get as x into a percent. But I got one more problem. 70% of what is 14? Alright, so 70%, of course, we'll let x equal that what, because that's an unknown quantity. We need to insert a variable in for that. So 70% of means multiplication. Of what? So 70% times x is, which is equal, 14. Okay, so biggest thing here, take that 70%, convert that to a decimal, which would be 0.7. 0.7, we can just leave the x out of the parentheses because we'll have 0.7x, which is 0.7 times x. That'll be equal to 14. Now, of course, the goal is get the x by itself, find out what that what is, divide both sides by 0.7. We'll do that. So x, we'll get x by itself is equal to 14 divided by 0.7, which I am now about to figure out. I think it's going to be 20, but don't quote me. It is 20. I'll be danged. Alright, it's 20. So, let's see, 70% of 20 is 14. That's how that would be worded. So x equals 20. And that's really all there is to these problems, is just remembering what that should be a variable. Of means multiplication, and is means equal to. If you can do those things, then you got the hang of this. So next lesson's going to be some word problems with percents. We'll get into some bigger word problems. I hope everyone has a good day. Take care.